The dark funnel is not dark. It's a verification layer. And once you see it that way, everything about your B2B pipeline changes. If you run B2B marketing, you've heard this term constantly for the last 3 years. Buyers are doing research you cannot see. Can't see it in Slack channels, in podcasts, in peer conversations, in community groups. The standard advice? Accept that you cannot measure it. Attribution is impossible in the dark funnel. Invest in brand and hope that attribution catches up. Framing is commercially useless. Here's what I've observed over 3 million buyer conversations and over 5,000 diagnostic engagements. The dark funnel is not a mystery. It's not opaque. It's a verification process. Buyers aren't lurking. They're checking. They are checking your claims and what they've heard in their communities against external sources. They're asking peers, reading your G2 reviews, testing whether your message is consistent across every surface they can find. And don't kid yourself, your website forms a large part of that dark funnel research. The dark funnel is not invisible activity. It's a quality check on whether your visible funnel is credible enough to deserve their identity. It's an ID tax that they're deciding whether or not they're ready to pay. The entire market has responded to the dark funnel with intent data. Intent data tells you who's lurking. It doesn't tell you why the buyer has not converted yet. Knowing a buyer visited your pricing page 17 times is not insight. Knowing what question they could not answer on that page, that is insight. Intent data tells you who. A hesitation diagnostic tells you why. And why is the only question that changes your pipeline. Every buyer who hesitates is carrying a private question, not 5 questions. 1. The question that if answered would resolve their hesitation enough to take the next step. That question is specific to the buyer, the industry, and the conversion path. It does not appear in your CRM. It does not appear in your analytics. It appears in the gap between the buyer arriving on your website and the buyer entering your pipeline. In fintech, it was regulatory defensibility. In hardware, it was binary technical specification. In SaaS, it was switching costs. It was what happens if the migration fails. In professional services, it was what will this actually cost for my specific situation. The question changes, the mechanism does not. Identity pressure before the decision question is resolved causes exit. An enterprise fintech decisioning platform with a 50K average client value and 15,000 plus chat greetings in 30 days. Pipeline looked healthy by standard metrics. The problem was, qualified deals were not entering at the expected rate. The diagnostic found that 34 out of 59 ICP relevant conversations exited the moment identity was requested. These were vendor selection grade questions. OAuth 2, blue-green deployment, regulatory defensibility. None appeared in CRM or GA4. The one formal RFQ in progress exited when asked to book a call instead of receive contact email. It was a silent exit, no record. The result? 6 qualified enterprise deals in 30 days. Conservative projection of $1.75 to $2.5 million of influence pipeline annually. All 5 predicted hesitation themes were confirmed and a 6th emerged. Your analytics record exactly what they were designed to. Decided buyers. The qualified buyer who visited 17 pages, read 3 case studies, spent 40 minutes evaluating, drafted a question and left. That buyer does not exist in your data. Not a lead, not a bounce, not an exit. A qualified buyer who disappeared without creating a single data point, now in a competitor's pipeline. Not because the competitor has a better product, because they answered the question, you asked for a name. 84% of mid-market B2B CMOs now use AI for vendor discovery. Buyers arrive more informed than ever. The information problem is solved. The confidence problem is not. The question they carry when they arrive is one thing their research could not answer, the one thing they need to verify. The dark funnel is not getting darker. The verification standard is getting higher. From 2 million conversations, 6 distinct hesitation profiles mapped. Every B2B buyer who hesitates falls into one of these patterns. The verification gap. The buyer needs proof the product does the specific thing. The committee shield. The buyer is protecting evaluation from vendor contact while committee forms position. The price threshold. Buyer needs to know if the investment is in range. Withholding pricing is a hesitation accelerant, or giving a per seat pricing when in fact for organisations of their size, there's additional features and increased pricing packages that are required. The complexity fog. A buyer cannot see how product applies to their situation, or the messaging is too generic. The switching tax. Hesitation is not about your product. It's about the cost of leaving what they already have. The trust deficit. A buyer is not convinced you understand their world. The website speaks to a category, not a person. 6 profiles, 2 million conversations, 411 companies. Every profile produces specific, predictable exit behaviour that analytics read as normal. There's 3 things you can do today. 1, stop measuring who submitted. Start measuring who almost submitted and what stopped them. 2, identify the one question your ICP carries, the question that resolves the hesitation. And 3, test your conversion path from the buyer's perspective. What's available to a qualified buyer who wants to take a step but is not ready to give their name? In most B2B companies, nothing. The form is the only option, and the form is the problem. Most B2B websites are designed for the decided buyer, not the buyer in the moment of hesitation. Here's a self-ordered challenge. Go to your website, start the buyer's journey, ask yourself, what happens if I want to take a step, but I'm not ready to give my name or contact details? If the answer is nothing, you are losing buyers right now, not because they can't find you, because they found you, evaluated you, and you asked for identity before they were ready. The free buyer hesitation profiler, sigadiagnostics.com/profiler. It's 10 questions. It identifies which of the 6 hesitation patterns is affecting your pipeline, grounded in 2 million conversations. Will not ask you to book a call. I'm Terry Wilson. This is Buyer Hesitation. If your pipeline is not following your traffic, you're in the right place. The dark funnel is not invisible activity. It's a quality check on whether your visible funnel is credible enough to deserve their identity. It's an ID tax that they're deciding whether or not they're ready to pay.